sure to tune in to next week's star-studded made-for-TV special event. Mr. T is Michelle Obama, and she's had enough in The Camel Repairman Only Knocks Once.
They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Intellectual Froglegs is brought to you by you.
Aquí en los Estados Unidos, el 5 de mayo se ha convertido en un día en que reconocemos y celebramos nuestra relación.
For the final score at the Garland Free Speech event, the great state of Texas 2, Muslim terrorists 0.
Screw you, we're from Texas. Screw you, we're from Texas.
Batman, but we've never been seen in the same place at the same time. I said I didn't say I was Batman. You know, we all get spammed, but rarely is it as entertaining as what I just got the other day. Check out this spam from somebody who, well, English is probably not their first language. Just a guess. Just a guess. Here it is. Hello, one of your female friends demonstrated me your photos, and I fell in love with you. And that's why I decided to write you and know you closer. Do you mind? My name is Anur. I am looking forward to find pretty and smart fellow. Maybe it is you to discuss different things. Please write me and maybe we can know each other better for a while. I'll wait for your message. Kiss you. That's almost as bad as Al Sharpton.
We must and we will much about that be committed.
And we must, and much we will, welcome you to Intellectual Froglegs. An atheist is like a colorblind person looking at a rainbow. Boom. That's it. I mean, that is the best description. Because no matter how hard they look at it, they can't see it. They cannot see it. You know, truth is, despite the ease of finding stuff to laugh at, we got some serious problems. We got problems with hair. Hope and change. Look at your hope and change now. In Baltimore, 200 businesses gone. Gone. Most of them were minority owned and didn't have insurance. But think about the amount of work and time it took to build these 200 businesses and how they were destroyed by these radicals, these social justice radicals in one night. And we better start standing up. America better stand up because our country's being ripped apart by the radicals that have taken over the Democrat Party. And aside from this orchestrated chaos in Baltimore, by the way, Baltimore is what happens when your city's run by radicals. It turns into a third world country. War zone. Anyway, now everybody's seen where those two Muslim gunmen started shooting at the Draw Mohammed / Free Speech event in Garland, Texas. Well, the one thing they definitely learned was that Texas ain't France. In Texas, we shoot back. I was born in Dallas. But Brad Thor pointed out that the Garland attack is a reminder of why we have both a First and Second Amendment. These Muslims went there to challenge our First Amendment, and they were greeted by the Second Amendment. But see, there are several heroes here, but first and foremost, the guy that we don't even know his name is the cop who took out these two Muslims. I mean, they had AK-47s, and he took them down with his revolver. And now it brings us to the winning drawing. You know, another hero is Pamela Geller, the lady who organized the event. But now the media is suggesting that it's her fault. Not the Muslims who went there to kill as many people as they could, but she should have known better.
That there's always this fine line, you know, between freedom of speech and being intentionally incendiary and provocative.
Intentionally incendiary and provocative by drawing a cartoon. This is the low state of freedom of speech in this country. I disagree, and I disagree most vehemently.
You know, if the shooting had occurred at an abortion clinic, you can bet your ass that the media would be focused on the shooters and not the clinic.
And here I go again on my own, going down the LB road.
But it wasn't just CNN, it was Bill O'Reilly, Mr. Ridiculously middle of the road, who's always looking out for the folks. He says he agreed, but he disagreed. Now there's how you take a strong position, Bill.
I agree, but it's the way you do it.
You know, speech that does not offend does not need protecting. Especially in a society as diverse as America, somebody's always offended.
Watch what you say, or they'll be calling you a radical, a liberal, or fanatical criminal.
This is Big Fur Hat, and you're watching Intellectual Froglegs. I'm under the bed.
How are you supposed to support free speech if you don't say something that makes people uncomfortable? Faggot. You can't just sit there and utter pleasantries. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. The hands on the clock goes round and round. Life gets tedious, don't it? The great Andy Adams. But see, to these lefties, the liberals, our media, our government, freedom of speech, that only protects like burning of the flag or burning and looting a city. Anything pro-American, pro-Christian, pro-freedom, well, that's just offensive hate speech. Well, you know what? You can kiss my country ass. I'm sick of it.
Send in the clowns.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
So sue me.
See, apparently these liberal fruit bats don't think the Muslims will kill them. Well, here's my liberal card. You can't kill me. And then you got, what's that guy's name? Mustafa Carroll, director of CARE in Texas. CARE is the Council of American Islamic Relations. Anyway, he was quoted saying, if we are practicing Muslims, we are above the law of the land. Who do they think they are, the Clintons?
Willie, Willie won't go home, but you can't push Willie round. Willie won't go.
Did you ever see a picture of Iran in the 1970s? Check it out, man. Some babes, man. And then, what happened? Jimmy Carter happened. And then they became the radical Islamist government that we see today. And now we have former Gitmo prisoners demanding reparations because they're repressed. We actually live in Looney Tunes here, don't we? You were in prison. You're supposed to be oppressed, and in fact, your ass should still be there.
Candygram for mango.
And you remember, it was over a year ago, how Michelle Obama had that hashtag concern over the kidnapping of the girls by Boko Haram. Bring back our girls. Well, you know what? They didn't bring them back. Those hashtags didn't work. And in fact, what they did, they kidnapped more. And a couple of hundred grew to almost 700 kidnapped women and girls. And now, not counting the ones that they used as human bombs, strapping bombs to them, over 200 were just found and then they'd been raped and they're now pregnant.
This is Branko from comicallyincorrect.com, and you're watching Intellectual Froglegs.
But those Christians better make that cake. That's gracious.
Now you tell me it ain't something wrong with that government up there.
Well, and now the presidential candidates are coming out of the woodwork, and actually, I think Lindsey Graham and Mike Huckabee would make a great team. I do. For what, I have no idea. But don't be surprised if show tunes are involved. You know, look at the party of diversity, the Democrats. All they have is white people running for president. And now look over at the Republican side, the party of the old white man. We got Cubans, we got blacks, we got women. That doesn't mean anything. They're all racist.
You don't want to go here.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Well, the eagle's been flying slow, and the flag's been flying low, and there's a lot of people saying that America's fixing to fall.
We in the administration and the government should give voice to the plight of Muslims living in this country and the discrimination that they face.
That clown is our head of Homeland Security. This is the guy supposed to be protecting us from the terrorists, and he's more concerned about protecting Muslims than he is Americans. I mean, well, but he's just like his predecessor, what's his name, Janet Napolitano. You know, nothing was made you feel quite as safe and warm and fuzzy as a lesbian lawyer. But this is exactly why, since Obama has been in charge, since he took the throne, we've had more murders in the name of Allah on American soil. And you know what? I bet there's a lot more than you actually know about. Roll it.
It starts with one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the
Despite the fact that it's conservatives and Republicans that are always being labeled as a racist, it's actually always liberals that play the race card. You can hear them, you can see it.
The road ahead is not going to be easy. It never is, especially for folks like you and me.
Anyway, Ted Cruz was interviewed by angry liberal Mark Halperin. He's a political hack / political analyst for Time Magazine, NBC, and Bloomberg. See if you can pick out the race baiter here.
Historical matter. When you filled out your application to Princeton, to Harvard Law School, did you list yourself as an Hispanic?
Oh, sure. I've listed myself as Cuban American. That's my heritage and my background.
Okay. In the following categories, whether you have an affinity for or connection to anything part of your Cuban past. You got a favorite Cuban food, Cuban dish?
Oh, I grew up eating Cuban food all the time.
What's your favorite
grandparents.
dish?
Picadillo.
All right, favorite, you like Cuban music? Do you have a favorite Cuban singer?
I have to admit, in that I'm much more of a Texan. I tend to listen to country music more than Cuban music.
All right, finally, I wanted to give you the opportunity to directly welcome your colleague, Senator Sanders, to the race, and I'd like you to do it, if you would, en español. En español.
Okay, sir, if you're really Cuban, do the mambo. Can you imagine if Obama would have been asked to prove his blackness? What gang are you in? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get this straight. If a Muslim blows himself up, he goes to a whorehouse in the sky. Sure, why not? So, but the thing I don't get is they're okay with suicide bombings and pedophilia and beheadings and burning people alive and honor killings, but they go to hell if they eat a BLT? What the? Are you kidding? Okay. Anyway, we got a little joke for you. The Prophet Muhammad came home after a long day of beheading the Jews, and he was in a great mood. I think he got like 800 that day. And he was singing his favorite song, "Throw the Jew down the well." Anyway, he was right in the middle of the chorus, walking up to the door, and his wife Aisha meets him at the door, and she was frantic. She was like, oh, Mo. Yeah, that's what she called Prophet Muhammad, Mo. Mo, the people of the village, they say you're a pedophile. And Mo looked at her and said, that's a pretty big word for a 9-year-old. Go, baby. But see, these people are so conditioned, so radically liberal, that if the Republican Party's for it, they have to be against it. It doesn't matter what the facts are. And if they're against it, well, they got to be for it. And then they create such junk arguments like they do with their climate change stuff. Here, CBS goes with their ridiculous statistic of 60% of Americans favor gay marriage.
6 in 10 Americans now favor gay marriage.
Oh, really? Gay marriage didn't even pass the vote in California? You can help support the show by buying some of our just wickedly handsome Frogleg gear. We got cups and caps and t-shirts. You look so good, your friends will be jealous. And we also welcome your generous donations, because nothing says loving like a little cash money, does it? You can visit the website for details. Oh, and for our friends that support us, we've added a little message after the closing music, so you'll want to stick around.
Durka Durka, Muhammad Jihad, Haka Sherpa Sherpa, Bacala. Oh, Durka Durka Durka.
Chris P. Bacon was born without the use of his I can't. Yeah, you have to read this story. We cannot. Oh my God.
And then you have that journalist, Soledad, or whatever the hell her name is. What the hell kind of name is that? She says that the word thug is now code for the N-word.
And so calling them thugs, just call them.
So is the T word the new N word? And should people in the media use it or avoid it? Why do words and pictures, for that matter so much? Soledad, thanks for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Why has thug become such a loaded word?
Listen, I think what the Baltimore City Councilman Carl Stokes was trying to tell Erin Burnett is that thug is a proxy, is a word that we use instead of the N-word.
This is CNN.
Coming to take me away, haha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho hee haha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time.
Oh, really? Well, then journalist must be a code word for dumbass.
Now, it amazes me that people don't love Obama.
No.
Please stop by the website, sign up for the show alerts, and donate if you can. If you're too broke to donate, we might be cousins. Anyway, and I have it on good authority that almost everybody that donates will indeed go to heaven. Most everybody, yes. Except that crackhead with the Hillary shirt. Please share the show with everybody you can. And we hope to see you on the next Intellectual Froglegs. God bless.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Lock your Soyuz hatch and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control to Major Tom. 7. 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3. 2. Detach from station and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. But it's time to guide the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I've left forevermore, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way, and the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can, nothing left to do.
Stuck around. First things first, Aunt Jane is out of the hospital. We want to thank you for your prayers. Secondly, I want to thank you guys for the very generous donations, but we're not quite out of the woods yet. We're still looking for a replacement for our sponsor. And that may not be you, but you might know somebody. You know, and especially if you feel a business that upsets liberals, bring it. And lastly, I want to introduce you guys to the first in-studio help I've ever had here at Froglegs. Come here, young man. Tell these folks what your name is.
J.D. Gorman.
Gorman? You're not related to those Hazard, Kentucky Gormans, are you?
Yeah, I sure am.
Well, can you assure the folks that nepotism played no role in your achieving such an illustrious position?
Yes, I can.
What's good enough for me? My baby boy. Come here. Come here. Y'all come. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks.
You don't like the way I'm living, you just leave this long-haired country boy alone.